Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, as you may be aware by now that former Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's daughter, Tarsila Lungu, lost a parliamentary seat in Chawama. Should have been now like 2 weeks ago, thereabout. It was pretty much nullified or pretty much declared vacant by the Speaker of the National Assembly, stemming from the fact that she's been absent from office for a prolonged period of time, from a time that she was allowed. All that shebang is public knowledge. But as of yesterday, some speculation started appearing in different circles. As you may be aware, it's been announced next year, 2026, January, should be on the 15th of January or the 16th, one of those early dates of January 2026. There will be a by-election in Chawama, the seat where she held. And then the information started circulating to say somewhat she wanted to recontest a seat of some sort. And that's where this rebuttal came from, the ECZ pretty much providing direction on whether she's capable of recontesting that particular seat. And according to information or feedback that came from ECZ, if you cause the vacancy, you cannot stand for elections. Electoral Commission of Zambia emphasizes. So that's the feedback that has come from the ECZ. So the Electoral Commission of Zambia has reiterated that those that cause vacancies in the Chawama parliamentary seat can no longer run for elections to hold public office during the current parliament. So simply saying, the fact that this vacancy has stemmed from Tarsila Lungu's absence from work, she is not eligible to contest. And then Chief Electoral Officer Kasaro emphasized, Brown Kasaro emphasized that Article 72, subsection 4 of the Constitution of Zambia explicitly prohibits such individuals from re-entering the political race. A person who causes vacancy, that's the Constitution being quoted there, a person that causes vacancy in the National Assembly due to reasons specified under Clause 2, subsection B, and then up to D, shall not, during the term of the Parliament, be eligible to contest an election, hold public office, as explained by Kasaro. So simply stating that Tarsila Lungu is not eligible by those constitutional clauses that were quoted by Mr. Brian Kasaro from ECZ. Tarsila Lungu cannot recontest that. Obviously, there was some rebuttal from the Patriotic Front through their media personnel, that is Emmanuel Mwamba. He says the Constitutional Court ruled that the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, cannot interpret the Constitution regarding the eligibility of candidates. So that's a rebuttal coming from Emmanuel Mwamba, simply saying the right institution to interpret the Constitution is the Constitutional Court and not the ECZ in this case. So it seems like those causes are up for debate. But in this case, in as much as the PF would like to fight this battle, even if they are to sue ECZ to take them to court for the by-elections in Chawama to be halted until the decision is made on regard whether Tarsila Lungu can recontest or not, the ECZ always stands on one point, simply stating that they work within their constitution. The ECZ is mandated, once a seat is declared vacant, they're supposed to hold elections within 90 days of that vacancy. So because of that, that's where the diciness comes in. If you remember, that was the same situation in the case of Boma Nusambo and then Malanji, when they lost their parliamentary seats. They sued the ECZ, but by the time they were fighting in that court case, ECZ had already held the elections and they were standing on the fact that they operate on their own constitution within the ECZ or their mandate, which simply states the by-elections are supposed to be held within 90 days. So within that 90 days, that court case is not able to be listened to or pretty much heard. And that's where most of these court cases are lost. So it's not different from that, and that's likely to be the case in this case. And yeah, it highlights a number of issues there. That's Emmanuel Mwamba, of why Tesila Lungu should be allowed, pretty much, and the rights to the same Brian Kasalo, Chief Electoral Officer for the Electoral Commission of Zambia. On the other hand, in the news diggers, Patriotic Front threatens to expel members of parliament who will vote Bill 7. And it's signs like this dominated the airwaves yesterday, where PF were holding a number of press conferences. Brian Undwi, they had a press conference. Shimba Kambui later on at the press conference with a number of PF members of parliament and members of the central committee. You could sense that PF was fighting almost like kicks of a dying horse kind of thing, where you could see they sensed defeat in the upcoming Bill 7, which was just listened to just a couple of minutes ago. And I'm pretty sure by now you know the verdict. It's gone through. So it's things like that that were sending signs to the general public to say, I think they sense defeat, and that's where those threats were coming from. And there, Mausam, but this is also from yesterday. So far we're counting on 5 United Party for National Development UPND members of Parliament that will abstain or vote no with us. Pretty much Bill 7 Pite. That was the hope. But you could sense, in as much as they were putting up this, they were pretty much gaslighting, where they're saying, they had 5 members of UPND that were not going to vote or stay away from that vote. But yeah, you could sense that no, later on more threats were coming through. Jean Kapata there says, if you vote for Bill 7, these are all updates that were coming from yesterday. Jean Kapata was like, if you vote for Bill 7, you're automatically expelled from the Patriotic Front, warns members of parliament. So then again, in as much as these threats were coming in from the PF, the fact is that PF is still in court. They're fighting with Robert Chavinga. Chavinga claims to be the leader of the Patriotic Front, and then there's this version that is led by Gideon Lubinda that also says it's going to expel people. So this thing of expelling, anyway, pretty much the idea is that you can see where you could sense that the way they were operating yesterday, that hey, they could sense defeat coming in. And to which Robert Chavinga responded. These are all posts from yesterday. He said, those threatening members of parliament that they will be expelled for supporting this bill should know that I am the only one with power to expel anyone, says Robert Chavinga in parliament. So you see, that version of the PF was making an argument to say they will expel members of parliament that would vote for the bill. Robert Chavinga reiterated, simply saying, hey, I'm the only person that can expel people, in as much as they are still in court. So yeah, it's the actions like this that could there are telltale signs where this thing was going, and most of the people could read. Zambians are very intelligent. They could read where this was going. A lot of threads, a lot of proverbs were coming through. Early in the morning today, Mao Sampa reported and posted this before he went to parliament. He says, I'm a material member of parliament, Honorable Mao Sampa, leaves the house. I do not want to be part of this illegal Bill 7. He writes, this morning I went to parliament to remind the speaker and all gathered in the chamber that they are breaking the oath they took to protect and defend the Constitution of Zambia by discussing Bill 7 that the Constitutional Court declared illegal. I laid on the table evidence documents that Bill 7 is illegal. I have since left the house. I do not want to be part of the debates on the illegal Bill 7, whose contempt and illegality hearing are currently underway in the Constitutional Court. So that was Mao Sampa. He simply went for work and submitted that and left parliament. So obviously one of the votes that was absent, as you may be aware, there is either you vote for yes, no, absent, or yeah. So Mao Sampa left the house, but it was a full house. You could see it was been people from the general public were there in the chambers up there, and within the house it was a full house. Just a few members, I think less than 5, if not just 3, that were absent from this hearing, and it proceeded as planned. And the speaker was like, "Today I am not going to chase anyone out of the house, no matter what. Those who want to go out can go out on their own." If I was the speaker, Nelly Muti. So the speaker was also simply stated to the members of parliament, no matter how much drama you decide to cause today, I'm not chasing you out of parliament. It's up to you to either walk out or simply stay and participate. And that's what she did. She didn't chase anyone. Also, a number of debates that were going on. But another thing that was given people that were against the Bill 7 was a post that was made by Linda Kasonde. This is the lawyer that has been fighting this Bill 7 for a while, amongst other CSOs and members of the general public. And she gave hope to the people to say, anyway, they had filed a motion today, the same day when the court hearing was taking place. And then she highlights to say, power versus the people, or why Zambian constitutional review process is failing the test of democracy. That's part of our post, and to which obviously the Patriotic Front also put up the same post. This was Emmanuel Mwamba shared Linda Kasonde's post, where he says a last-ditch effort to stop Bill 7, according to Linda Kasonde, reposted by Emmanuel Mwamba, and she says, fellow Zambians, tomorrow, meaning today, right now, the same time that the bill was being listened to in Parliament, she also had a court case in the Constitutional Court. So she says, tomorrow, referring to right now, we will appear before the Constitutional Court of Zambia to argue an application that has the potential to stop Bill 7 in its tracks. If you would like to attend this case, it will be in an open court tomorrow, Monday, 15th December 2025 at 11 hours in Court 2 of the Supreme Court buildings. I ask you all to pray for me and trust justice will prevail. So simultaneously, the same time that the Parliament was sitting to pretty much pass Bill 7, this court case was also taking place. So the outcome of this court case has not yet been published. It's either it's still ongoing or what. So I do not know how it works in this case, because Parliament has already passed the bill in Parliament, but Linda Kasonde has a court case that she's fighting in the Constitutional Court. So I do not know how it's going to work if the Constitutional Court says what has happened in Parliament is an illegality and should be cancelled. If Parliament has to hold that stage, or at this stage, everything is in limbo. But let's not speculate. We're not sure what is going to be the verdict from the Constitutional Court, but I'm pretty sure by the end of the day, we'll have an answer of whether the Constitutional Court says the whatever is going on in Parliament. But as things stand, the vote has gone through in Parliament, and I'll show you the statistics. This was the order of business in Parliament earlier on. It tabulated a number of things that we were looking at, but pretty much what dominated was that. Bini Wampundu threatens to leave the House after debating. Speaker Nelly Muti tells him to go ahead and listen on radio. So you could see Bini Wampundu was another person, just like Mausam, after he put up his debate against the bill, he walked out of Parliament. Bini Wampundu did the same. He put up his debate and walked out of Parliament, and that was the response coming from the speaker, Nelly Muti. Another person is, this should be Jen Chisenga, the PF optimistic before the vote. I said before the vote, one vote out. So simply saying she simply abstained. She didn't even go to Parliament like Bini Wampundu and Mausamba did. They went to Parliament, made an argument, and afterwards they left the House. They did not want to participate in that process. But for her, she simply stayed away completely. And that's what the PF was counting on. They're simply saying one vote less. So you can say 3 people, at least the ones that we can count, stayed away from that particular vote that happened in Parliament. But either way, the votes went through, and then that was Bini Wampundu's response as he was watching from outside or whether at home. He says, "But Patriotic Fund, the people you took to Parliament," simply saying the quality of the people that you took to Parliament are very disappointing, because the numbers that came through, I'll show you from that vote. So that's the statistics. 131 people voted for the passing of that bill 7, according to that statistics. This should have been captured by one of the members of Parliament. You can see the machine there. One of those statistics are coming from. But anyway, it has been made as public knowledge. And then some of the debates that were also part of it have been in this House for a very short period, 24 years. And I stand on behalf of the people of Zambia to support the beautiful Bill 7. That's Jack Mwimbu. He's been in Parliament for 24 years. Currently, I think he's the longest serving member of Parliament. I think the next one should be Gary Nkombo. They've been in Parliament for a long period of time. And he says, no, just a short period of time. And he supports that, some of the arguments. And then Bill 7 passes second reading, advances to committee stage. A total of 131 members of Parliament have voted in favor of the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 7. 2 voted against, so only 2 voted against. Guy, you can laugh at this thing. Some of the members of Parliament that PF. So only 2 voted against, while the no abstentions, or pretty much no one abstained. Now, I do not know how this works. If Mao Sampa and Bini Wampundu, including Jean Tsenga, were not in Parliament, how do their votes count in this case, if that's really the statistic to say no one abstained as recorded? According to Bill 7, proceed to the next stage. And even the ones who are saying even the one who says Ichavaishe does not want youth to be in Parliament, Jack Mwimbu jabs at Ichavaishe leader Bini Wampundu. That was a response from Jack Mwimbu towards Bini Wampundu. And then Robert Chavinga simply says, my role as leader of the opposition is to give guidance to the opposition that this bill must be supported without fear or favor. That was Robert Chavinga. Anyway, that response was expected from Robert Chavinga, supporting that particular bill. And here are the statistics now put up by Emmanuel Mwamba. He says, they have betrayed Zambia. Remember them. That's Emmanuel Mwamba simply saying the National Assembly has voted into second reading Bill 7 with 131 to 2 below composition of Parliament. So simply saying 131 voted for yes, bill should be passed, and only 2 voted against it. And those are the representation. So the United Party for National Development has 97 members of Parliament in the current Parliament. So they only have 97, but they got 131. And the PF Patriotic Front has 55 members of Parliament. So where did the 31 come from? That's the question. So meaning some of them are from the PF. So part of the PF members of Parliament voted for this particular bill. So then this goes into intuition to say people that are supporting Brian Mundwi, they had a question to say, because Brian Mundwi has been very adamant and clear about against this particular bill. So where did the other deficiency from 97 come from? So simply saying some of those members of Parliament from the PF voted for that particular bill. It's just that it was made private. So Mwamba simply says, we will soon compile a list for those that betrayed Zambia. I don't know what that means. So if he compiles the list and publishes those that have voted for the bill from the opposition, and then what? As I said, that changes nothing, really, if we're being honest. Oh, yeah. So the statistics were the United Party for National Development has 97 members of Parliament, PF has 55 members of Parliament, independent members of Parliament are 10, and then new, whatever that party that was endorsed by the PF as 1, another party that was endorsed by the Tonse Alliance as 1, and NCP also has one other 1. And then it says they will compile a list of those that voted for the bill. And obviously, Kalemba says more Bemba province coming soon, and put up Shimbakam with his image there. That's according to Kalemba, saying he's going to unleash a number of proverbs today, considering that the bill has gone through. I do not know why. Whenever I am talking, people become agitated. Unfortunately, life is like this. Even in heaven, life is not fair. Even on earth, life might not be fair. Robert Chavinga. So simply saying that was Robert Chavinga as he was speaking over the bill. Obviously, Kalemba there puts up CR1's image, pretty much laughing at the opposition and that turn of events. And then Patriotic Front PF says it shall soon compile a list of those who betrayed Zambia by voting yes to Bill 7. So I do not know what they mean by this list. Are they going to compile the list of the members of Parliament from the Patriotic Front that has voted for this particular bill? Or they're generally going to compile a list of everyone that has voted for this bill? Because clearly all members of Parliament from the UPND have voted for the bill. So now that deficiency, the other number that pushed it to 131, obviously they came either from the independents and within the Patriotic Front, because that's where the numbers are. So if they mean they're going to compile the list of those that have betrayed them, the PF, within the PF, then maybe they mean they will not adopt them. But then again, the Patriotic Front is still in court. There is that version that Robert Chavinga runs, and according to Parliament, they recognize Robert Chavinga as the leader of the opposition. So I do not know the purpose of that anyway, as they say they will compile that list. Obviously, Kalemba puts up the image of the sitting Republican president, Hakainde Hichilema there, simply saying, hey, celebration in that case. Honorable Minister, honorable members are anxious. They want to vote. Can you wind up? Nelly Muti tells Justice Minister Princess Kasune. So that was earlier on in Parliament where she was giving a speech and simply say, hey, wrap up your speech. People want to vote. They are too anxious. And then obviously Emmanuel Wamba jabs at Robert Chavinga. They are simply saying he's a stooge, obviously calling him names. That's expected. So Bill 7, that's according to the UPND. Bill 7 votes 131 says yes, and then 2 no, and then abstain. None. So I do not know how the votes for Bino Mpundu, Mao Sampa, and then Jin Senga works because they did not participate. They literally walked out of parliament in that case. So I do not know how it's not been counted as abstain or something of that nature. But that has to be explained by parliament itself. But Mao Sampa went for yes. They laugh. So I don't know if it automatically means if you walk out of parliament, your vote goes to yes, according to the UPND, but it could be a joke. Justin Bill 7 passes second reading. 31 member, obviously the same news being repeated there. Even Mao Sampa and Stephen Kampionga voted yes, assuming only Binwa Mpundu and Robert Katanga voted no. I do not know how that works because Mao Sampa, according to that post, left parliament before that vote. So it could be just politics at play here, according to the UPND there. And just in jubilation in parliament, the 2/3 majority has passed. So and then Reverend Wota Mwambazi wraps up this in his view. I guess that's what democracy is all about. However, for those of us who did not support this, we did our part, and this outcome has not changed my stance. Most unfortunate. So simply saying, hey, in as much as this bill has gone through, he still stands on his view. This is unfortunate, and he has not changed his point of view. But at the end of the day, that's democracy, and yeah. So those are the votes, and that's in Emmanuel Momba's newspaper. President party not above the law. That's according to Daily Nation. Bill 7 party votes. Bill 7 will pass today. Parliamentary whip has not has garnered support with MPs. And yeah, you could tell from yesterday that no, the UPND was sure about passing this vote because they did not rant as the Patriotic Front was running. PF had a number of press conferences yesterday. Literally, everyone who's got the page, you could see that supports the PF had some sort of press conference. I don't know if they wanted to garner some support through threats, which didn't work in their favor. But yeah, so that's what has gone through. Bill 7 has passed. As things stand, Linda Kasonde is still in court. Let's see the outcome of that court hearing that she's done. If it comes in her favor, meaning Bill 7 is voted, I do not know how that works because those are two different structures of governance. There's the judiciary and then the legislature, which is parliament there. So yeah, it might be a battle if the constitutional court rules in the favor of Linda Kasonde. If not, then obviously the second stage will be just a walkover. I'm pretty sure it has to be presented to the president to assent to, and it will be a law. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen, as things stand. Have a good day. If anything else comes up, you're pretty sure you get it from here.